what's happening, Steve? All right, my man. Engineer Steve, I love you, brother. Always keeping it fun inside Truth Radio. Speaking of fun inside Truth Radio, and by the way, this is, if we're going to call this a game, Anahi, the only way that you win, any ideas? Got to tell the truth, girl.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
got to tell the truth, girl. And I got you live in the hot seat right now. By the way, for your fans who aren't lined up outside chanting your name right now with the signs, Anahi, Anahi, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for the first time?
Well, last time, I've been here once, so thank you so much for inviting me again. And last time I didn't give my mom a shout out, so hi, Mom. And I didn't really explain who I am and tell my story. And since, Lindsay, you were sharing your story, I figured this would be a good time to do that as well.
Let's kick it then.
Yeah, I'm a real estate consultant with the Greenhouse Group. And I started real estate a few years ago when I bought my first home. And I don't want to sound negative, but I have to...
But erases everything before it.
You know, the person helping me was a good person, nice guy, but I didn't have the best experience. Yeah. Let me just tell you that when I was making offers on properties and signing paperwork, I did so on the hood of a car. When he didn't explain at all what I was signing, I felt like I was signing my life away. I needed somebody to kind of let me know what was going on. And I wasn't walked through the process. I was kind of like, I was just being pushed and told, this is a good deal. You just got to do it. You just got to buy it, and nothing to back it up. I wasn't being consulted. I was just being sold. And when that happened, I said, well, you seem like you're pretty successful at this, and yet you lack some kind of human connection. And so I figured that I wanted to give it a try and give people a different experience. Hence why I don't call myself a real estate agent and real estate salesperson. I call myself a real estate consultant. Because when I go out and look at property with my clients, I'm not there telling them, look at this great countertop and check out the great neighborhood.
Because that's obvious.
Yes. I actually start pointing out.
It's got the thin clink of the inauthentic.
Right. You know, I want to let them know that I'm there looking for their best interest. Yeah. And we've been doing this business long enough that we kind of, we're no roof experts, right. We're no plumbing experts, we're no foundation experts, but we kind of see the red flags here and there, and at least we're able to point them out so that ultimately what I want is to give you all of the information and all the tools that you need so that you can make the best decision possible for yourself.
Well said. We have golf clapper out here, man. You're welcome to chime in on that. Yeah.
And, you know, when I started studying for my license and all of that, I mean, I was working at a law firm, so I'm very familiar with paperwork. I'm very comfortable with paperwork and explaining what it's all about. But, you know, I went to UC Berkeley for my undergrad. I had friends who are attorneys and doctors and whatnot. And my family was really supportive. But when I started mentioning to my sphere and my friends and acquaintances that I wanted to do real estate and be a real estate consultant, they said, oh, you mean a salesperson? And, oh, really? You want to be that? That's all you want to be? And it was so sad for them, but I understood where they were coming from because I had experienced it. Yeah. And I wanted to break that mold. And luckily, my friends who have worked with me understand what I do and know that it's a little bit different. And thankfully for the Greenhouse Group as well, because they broke that mold of doing things a traditional way and are now here for the client and for a 5-star experience and for being true consultants. When I first started, I did work for a traditional firm, and I started without knowing doing things outside of the mold, offering comparables or comps, meaning what's going on in that marketplace. Like, let's say that there's a buyer interested in this particular home and they let me know they want to make an offer. I would automatically say, well, let me go ahead and do the comps for you. Let me go ahead and check out what's going on in that neighborhood and make sure that you're making good investment and it's worth it. Because as you know, the listing price on those properties, it's nothing but a marketing tool. You know, sometimes they overprice it. Sometimes they underprice it so that they create a bidding war. And so I would do that automatically. And I haven't told you this, actually. I had my manager say, why are you doing that? Did the client ask you to do that?
Oh, man.
I said, no, but I want to do that for them so that they know, because they're not in the business. They're not real estate agents or consultants. They need to know these things. They don't know. So that's what we're here for. I said, but if they're not asking for it, why are you giving it to them? The buyer's going to pay what they're willing to pay. So now you've added like a level of complexity into their process, and they didn't even ask you for that.
Wow.
Yeah. And exactly. Do we have that kind of sound effect? No?
I probably do.
But I was so disenchanted, and I realized that I needed to go somewhere else that kind of fit what I was looking to do. And I met Mr. Jesse Ibañez, and everyone else at the Greenhouse Group was awesome. And now I do what I do.